Hello guys and welcome back to Sonic Labs, and today we are going to finally conclude our music theory for beginners series. So as I said in the last episode, this time we are going to create a complete arrangement out of MIDI and use a few samples. And if you are a complete beginner and you have never made a track yourself before, then this is what you might do for the first time, and this will be a good reference for you guys to learn how to create your tracks. So let us begin. So as I taught you in previous episodes about chords, bass lines, arps and melodies, so I made each one of them individually one by one in different patterns. So these are the chords. I used a piano for the chords. And then using the same bass notes, root notes, I made the bass line. And then I used a pluck sound to make the arp. And at last we have our main melody. So not the best melody in the world, but it's a melody after all, so we'll use it. So let us begin with creating our intro. So as I said, the intro should be as minimal as possible, so we'll just use 2 bars of our piano chords. And now I'll show you one more thing to mark the timeline according to the sections, which will make your project a bit more tidy. So select any point where you are beginning a section. Like in this case we are starting our intro, so at 1 I'll just press Alt T and we'll write here intro and we'll just enter it. And now this section is considered to be our intro. Now from here we are going to start our verse, so let's just use the pianos 4 more times, so it will be a 4 bar verse, or let's just see what to do. So in the verse we'll introduce our bass, and in the last 2 parts we'll introduce the arp. And now here I'll mark it as verse, Alt T, verse 1, because minimum there are 2 verses. And now I think from here it should be a build up, the 2 bar build up, so here I'll mark it as the build up. Now for build up, I said that we might use some drums to just make up the energy, but for now I won't do much in the build up, so let us move ahead. Now before the drop we'll just leave some gap, and now from here our drop will begin. So I have a really bass heavy sound, which is the sub bass. It is stronger than our normal bass which is used in the verse and the build up. This is how it sounds, and this is the sub bass. So this will definitely give all the energy that our drop needs. So it will be a 4 bar drop, so I am placing the pattern 4 times. Next I'll place the main melody. We'll introduce the arp in the second half of the drop, and let's just let the pianos continue for the drop, and we'll add a drum loop in the drop. So this is how our drop will sound. And we'll just remove the drums, the arp at the end, so we can transition to the next part. Even the sub bass. So let's just mark this as drop 1. So this will be our first drop for the track. Next I will start the second verse of the track, so let us just place the pianos 4 times, again the bass. Now this is not the best arrangement in the world, but if you are just beginning, just try taking this sort of approach, like making sections and using same patterns in similar manner. to create sections of the track. Now this time I will use the ARP for the entire verse, and let us just make this our verse. I won't add anything else. Let's just name it verse 2. Okay, and from here again we'll make this thing as our build up. Fine. So again we'll just leave some gap before the drop, and now I think we can just duplicate our first drop and modify it in the second section. So what we'll do this time is we'll use the ARP from the very beginning, and that would be a variation because first time we didn't use the ARP for the first half. Now let's just try ending the song. So let us just mark this as drop 2, and at the end I think we'll end this with the pianos. We'll add the main bass for 2 bars maybe, and we'll add the ARP till the very end, and I think it should be 4 bars maybe. Let's just see how it sounds, and I'll name this as the outro. Now I have this little effect, so I'll just use it. This is how it would sound. So it will help you transition from different parts of the song to the next. So let's just place it in the gaps that we had and also at the end. So this can be a track idea. Let's just listen how it sounds. So I'll just play it. It might be really repetitive and not so entertaining because we haven't put all the production tricks and stuff in it. So but this is the basic method of how you can create a track. So that wasn't a really good mix, but we haven't mixed it yet. That's why it was sounding so bad. But you get the idea that how can you make your own structures for your own tracks. So this can be the basic type of approach that you can take as a beginner. So that was it for this video, and I'm really happy to conclude this series, and I hope you guys learned something from it. So please like the video if you liked it, and consider subscribing to our channel so I can give you more such content in future. And I'll see you in the next.